Das Vidania, everyone. This is Tom bringing you guys Week 5 of the GBA against the one and only Kooper, head of the Utah Jasmine. I like Kooper a lot. I think he's the greatest in the GBA, and someone who definitely is a great battler, a very seasoned battler, and mad respect to him because he breeds all of his own Pokemon. Anyway, you guys know that we're 3-1, trying to make it to 4-1, so let's see what happens. Anyway, lead off with Charizard Y, and leading off, I figure, okay, Hitmontop, nothing on his team, if you looked at it, besides Suicune, wanted to take a Flamethrower in the Sun. So I figure if he's going to stay in here, maybe he can go for, like, Stone Edge. If he went for Stone Edge, obviously I'd be fucked, but, like, if he went for Stone Edge, I was thinking I could have one-shotted it. It doesn't matter, but, I go for Flamethrower, get big damage off, and he Toxics me. Now this, I have Roost on this Charizard, and I figure there are some Pokemon I'll be keeping it in on, other Pokemon I'll be not keeping it in on. So I figure, screw it, just let it take the Toxic, and I can handle it accordingly. Now, here, when he switched, I was waiting for him to switch into Chansey just to, to absorb these hits, because obviously that's what this fat blob does, right? Just fucking takes hits, and it takes a very long time to die, as you guys will see later, because this battle is 11 minutes long. So I go for Solar Beam, doesn't do much. I switch out, no big deal. I go into Swampert, and this is a very special Swampert, and it doesn't, obviously, when switched out, maybe he kind of knew something was up with the Swampert. I don't think the bottom line is he didn't want to take a physical hit from the Swampert. So anyway, I go for Substitute, and now this Suicune, I think the Suicune, the Galay, which he didn't bring, and the Zapdos for the 3 things on his team. Oh, and the Mega Alakazam. That concerned me about his team, because I was concerned as to what set it could run and how it could potentially, those 3 could potentially sweep my team, because obviously I have a huge weakness to electricity, being Charizard and Mandibuzz. And anyway. So, this is a special Mandibuzz. This is a special defensive Mandibuzz, as you can see from that way that it took that Ice Beam. So, I go for knockoff just to get rid of his leftovers, just to try and kind of take the Suicune down, or force it to rest at some point. So, obviously, he gets the burn with the Scald, because that's what Scald does. And that Brave Bird was actually for his Whimsicott, for his Gallade. I figure, I can get big damage off on either, because obviously Brave Bird's super effective. Now, obviously, you never, ever see Brave Bird on a Mandibuzz, but I figure, this is the GBA. Why not? And it's something that he won't see coming. Obviously, Mandibuzz runs Foul Play and knockoff. Let's change it up a little bit. So now, that's why the double switch was very curious. I don't know what he was predicting to come in, but I go into Latias, and I figure let's see, because he can't really touch me, because most Zapdoses, unless they run HP Ice, can't really touch dragons. Now obviously, I say obviously a lot. I have Side Shock on Latias. It's Stab, and I knew Chansey was going to be a big problem. So bringing a special attacking move that can be boosted by Calm Mind, but can also hit physically, was definitely a good idea. So go for Side Shock. It does about 35%. That's enough for now. Basically, I need to force him to either soft boiled or just get into a position where he has to recover or just let it die. So this Suicune's taking big damage, almost to the point that if I came to something like Kyurem that he roared into, that outsped it, I could, kill it and prevent it from resting. The entire time this thing was in, I was concerned that it was going to go for Rest or Calm Mind or what Crocoon does. This was not a regular Crocoon, because, you're looking at it and it had Ice Beam, Scald, and Roar, but I didn't see its 4th move, but I was thinking it's Rest, just for the recovery's sake. But, Kyurem Black, doing its things, killing 2 pokes, one being Suicune, and the other being Hitmontop. Sorry guys, it's early. So that's 2 kills for Kyurem. Kyurem, I'm gonna start. Well, actually, no, I'm not. But I was gonna start digging Kyurem out of its hole that I put it into. It's 1 and 2 on the season, so I want to try and get it up there. Obviously, I'm not making it an MVP, but it's. I know it's a little better than that. So he switches into Whimsicott. He knows a Moonblast can pretty much kill Kyurem from that range. So I go into Scissor, because obviously I resisted a little bit. And, this was stupid right here. I completely forgot about Magnezone. Or Magneton. And I knew I was trapped here. Seeing that bullet punch damage, I thought, oh, maybe I can outspeed it. This is a max speed Scissor. That's not the case at all. You know, he goes for HP Fire. Later, I learned it's a Scarfed Magneton, which is good for me because that means that whatever move he goes for is the one he's locked into, except for his Volt Switch. Obviously, he can switch out, but he has to choose, you know, what move to go for on which Pokemon. I mean, he can't just lock himself into electric moves because I still have Swampert around. So he switches out, not wanting to take a Flamethrower in the Sun, but on the same token, though, Zapdos does not want to take a Flamethrower in the Sun, and unless this thing was Scarfed, which it's not, I outspeed it, and I kill it. So I think two of the biggest things that I was worried about, being Suicune and Zapdos, because I didn't bring Mega Azam or Gallade, are out of the way, and now it just turns into how are we going to kill fucking Chansey? I switch out here knowing that my moves are going to do nothing, and that he is obviously going to go for that big soft boiled. God damn it, I hate Chansey so much. Fuck. No, you know, I should say though, thank God it doesn't have Wish, because Wish would have just been a bigger thorn in my side. And you know, I can't go for. Obviously, I can click knockoff, but he's just going to switch to something that will take the knockoff. Like the Whimsicott. It doesn't take much from a burned Mandabuzz's knockoff, but his Chansey obviously does not want to take a knockoff out of anything on his team. Even his Magnezone would take a knockoff before Chansey will, because he needs it around to absorb hits from, you know, Latios and Charizard, and to an extent I think he can even take a hit from Kyurem. So this Mandabuzz's being special defensive, I calced it, and there was a small chance. That was like a mid roll, to live that Moonblast. Now here it KOs itself, but that damage from Brave Bird was huge, and that's what I need Mandabuzz to do. I need Mandabuzz to get a fair amount of damage onto this Whimsicott, so that, you know, anything that outsped it, like this Charizard, this Whimsicott cannot touch this Charizard. You know, if it has Moonblast and it has Tailwind, it has Encore, or even Leech Seed and Giga Drain, the Charizard walls it completely. But I can't really rely on Charizard to take it out until I get rid of this fucking Chansey. So here is a part that will be sped up. I hope Joe sped it up a lot, because this part was an ordeal. This is called the Chansey Seismic Tossing, Latias, Psy-Shocking dance, in which case I'm paralyzed and he's banking on me to not get paralyzed, or to get paralyzed. I'm banking on not to get paralyzed. If you count there as one paralyzed, that I have one fully para, out of all of these turns, I'm not going to bother counting these. I'm not going to bother explain it. The whole point of this was it Psy-Shock, Roost, Calm Mind. Psy-Shock, Roost, Calm Mind. If I was at a fair amount of health and he was forced to cut to soft boiled, I'm gonna go for Calm Mind. I figured if I got the +2 or even +3 with Calm Mind, I could 2-KO this Chansey, as you see right there. He gambled on that last turn because he thought if I roosted when I was at 24 HP or 74 HP, or I got the full parrot, he can kill me. And then obviously if I got parried that next turn, then he could definitely kill me. So I knock it out with that last Psy-Shock, and oh my god, fucking Chansey. This Latias, as he said at the end of the battle, deserved a fucking steak for going through all those turns without dying, or being fully parried and not dying. There were some turns that were very crucial that it had to roost, otherwise that Chansey would have been a big pain in my ass. So he knocks it out with Moonblast on Whimsicott, and I just click Flamethrower to win with Charizard. Flamethrower in the Sun cooks the Steel type that Magneton is, and then Whimsicott can only really go for Moonblast, and then it can die. So, if Charizard wasn't around though, that Whimsicott would have been a huge threat, because Swampert dies in one shot to it. Kyurem gets killed by Moonblast at the range that it's at, or near, or so. And yeah, so Charizard was I would say it's this game's MVP. Charizard's really starting to show, you know, its power. Obviously, the first 2 games it was a little quiet, but now it's starting to pick up a little bit of recognition, moving up that ladder a little bit. But I appreciate you guys watching. The Sharpedos are now 4-1, and we are at a +6 differential. After Joe's big win this week, we are 5 games behind the first seeded team, being the Steelix. From last to first, man. Mad props to the Steelix. So, but we'll get there. I'm feeling good about this season. Thank you, Kooper, for battling. I look forward to our Week 11 match. Guys, definitely go check him out. He's a great guy. And I will see you guys next time with our Week 6 battle against the one and only Milwaukee Sawsbucks. Take care, guys, and peace out.